everybody, Tim Norris here, or you can call me GreyElephant.
And Carmen Norris, and today we're bringing you a quick review of the Castles of Burgundy. And first I thought we would just mention the components. This is a Euro-style game. The components they're not really fancy. There's some good artwork there, but it's really nothing to ooh and ah about. But the mechanics of this game really make up for it.
Now each player is going to have 2 dice, and at the start of each turn, you're going to roll these 2 dice. Now with these dice, you're going to be allowed to collect tiles, place tiles on your player board, sell goods, or convert 1 dice into 2 workers. Now to be able to collect tiles, you need to match the die value to the location. So for instance, on the main board, there will be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 around. Your die has to match one of those numbers for you to be able to take that tile from that location. Then it would go into your reserves on your player board. To be able to place a tile onto your player board, you have to match on your player board the color and the value of the die. So if you're trying to place a brown building and you have a 1, then you would have to find a 1 brown spot somewhere on your player board to place that. However, everything on your player board must connect with something that's already previously been placed. You cannot just place randomly, everything must be connected. To be able to sell goods, you must match the number on the goods you're trying to sell. Each time you sell a good, you're going to collect victory points depending on the amount of players and 1 money. You can also exchange 1 die and gain 2 workers each time. Workers allow you to adjust the value of the dice by 1 pip. 1 worker, 1 pip, 2 workers, 2 pips.
Now you roll 2 dice and you use these 2 dice to take 2 actions. But you can notice that some of these tiles allow you to take more actions, and maximizing these is an important strategy in this game. You might place 1 building and get money or workers or points, and then you might place another building that allows you to take a free action, any action, or allows you to take a building, place a boat. There's so many different ways you can combine this to where you end up getting not even 3, but sometimes 4 actions per turn.
To be able to access the tiles in the center of the main board, you're going to have to pay money. And it costs you 2 money to be able to purchase one of them tiles to add to the reserves on your player board. Now to be able to gain money throughout the game, you're either going to have to build mines, which will give you 1 money at the end of each round, or you're going to have to sell off goods. Selling off goods, it's a double bonus because not only are you getting victory points for selling the good, depending on the amount of players, you can get up to 4 points, but you're also gaining money at the same time. To gain more goods, you're going to have to build boats on your player board, but this can be risky. Each time you build a boat on your player board, you're going to go down on the initiative tracker, which means you may not be able to have first choice on some of the buildings or some of the tiles available on the main board. However, you are going to be able to gain more goods to place onto your own player board, which then gives you a greater chance to sell off more victory points, more money.
My favorite way of getting points is animal tiles because, well, it's obvious. If I get a tile with 4 chickens on it and place it on my board, I get 4 points. And then the good thing is that these points are going to stack. So the next time I get a tile with chickens on it and I place it next to that first tile, I'm going to get 3 points for the new tile that I laid down and then 4 points for the first tile that I laid down. And you can do that again, and you can have 4 tiles with all the same animal on it, and by the time you're done, you're getting 16 points for laying down 1 animal tile.
Finishing up an area on your player board will allow you to instantly score victory points. So for instance, let's say if I finished up a 3-spot area, all the same color. I would immediately score 6 points because that's the amount of points you get for 3 tiles of the same color in 1 location. And depending on the round, I could score extra points. So for instance, if it's the first round, I could score an additional 10 points for a total of 16. But it doesn't stop there. Once you are the first person to finish up all of the same color spaces on your player board before your opponents, you're also going to gain a bonus victory point tile that you will be able to turn in at the end of the game to score additional points.
So do I recommend Castles of Burgundy? Well, I'm going to have to say I love it. I love this game. It's got a combination of elements that you just don't find all the time. I really love the fact that it's got the tile placement going on, where I really feel like I'm doing something, I'm building something in front of myself. But at the same time, there's more to it than that. And it kind of feels like a worker placement game, But, you know, there's some worker placement games where I feel like I'm just grabbing points. Whereas this one, I really have a sense of accomplishment going into this. There's some long-term planning, but at the same time, you have to change things up when things just aren't available or your opponents take what you want. So I've enjoyed this game every time I've played. 4 players, 2 players, you bring this game to the table, and I'm going to be happy.
So do I like Castles of Burgundy? Yes! I love this game. I mean, I'm starting to really develop a huge man crush on Stefan Feld because this man makes really good games. I'm going to get like a t-shirt that says I heart Feld and have little flags I'm going to wave around, be like I heart Feld, and you know, start a fan club and all that. I mean, seriously. Love this game. I rank it up there with Bora Bora, which is another great one he did, and also Bruges. I haven't played Trajan yet, but boy, I need to play that one too because I just love this man's designs. I really do. So what exactly do I love about it? I like the whole sense of accomplishment. You're building on your own player board, and what's cool is you can flip these player boards over, and each person will have a different map. So one side, everybody's got the same. The other side, it changes. And I recommend you play where everybody's the exact same when you're first learning, but you're going to want to flip them over because it creates a different element in the game. I like how there's like a sense of you're not always going to be able to accomplish everything you want to do. But you know, what exactly are you going to prioritize based upon what's available on each round? I mean, that's really what this game boils down to. You know, I want to go animals. You know, what type of animals? You know, I want to try to be the first to build all my mines, but yet there's only one mine available each round. You know, there's a lot of cool things that this game offers and tense moments, which you don't always get that in a lot of games. What I like about this designer is he creates these tense moments with the dice because to be able to place on your playboard, you got to match that number. And, you know, you can use workers to try to adjust that value, but at the same time, you may not always be able to roll exactly what you need, so you're having to sacrifice workers, but I need those workers for this. And it's a lot of give and take, and a lot of planning, a lot of, you know, adjusting on the fly. Beautiful game. Highly recommend it. Wonderful.
Griffin Gaming, from new releases to pre-orders. Griffin Gaming. Enter in promo code GreyElephant for 5% off your order.